Piety? She still lives.
Then she needs to die again.
Permanently this time. I honestly don't know who I'm more scared of. The beast or that black-hearted witch.
It's the combination that scares me. And it should scare you too, Exile.
I heard of the beast before coming here. Piety talked about it. I suppose she saw no point in keeping secrets from the people she was planning to murder.
I'm so sorry, Vanya.
God, it's not your fault, Pataris. But Piety used to say that the beast was the source of her power. How she managed to turn poor men and women into those... things. She kept using a phrase. What was it?
Universal transmogrification. I heard her assistants talk about it too.
The power to change the world into anything you like.
Bloody scary power in the hands of someone like Piety.
Bloody scary power, full stop.
See ya.
Pruning a branch can save a tree. That would only slow me down.
Captain Tavares, altitude is imperative to forging a stable connection with the Prime Resonator in Theopolis. Power source is equally vital. Locate a fissure in the mountainside and lower a conductive cable into it. The deeper, the better. It will take an immense amount of thaumaturgical energy to execute the successful disintegration and transmission of objects, both inanimate and animate, between Highgate and Theopolis. For that kind of power, we must tap the origin. I needn't remind you of the consequences should either of those elements prove deficient. That is why I would like you, Tavares, to be the first to test the Resonator once it is operational. Accountability is a perfect counterweight to ambition. High Templar Dominus.
That would only slow me down.
to Suni. He's a con man.
Pataris just doesn't understand him.
I understand that he gets his every need catered for by talking in riddles and telling lies.
The truth about the nightmare. He makes sense of the chaos as best he can.
How can we possibly know whether what he's telling us is the truth or not?
We can't. But who else is there to ask? We've a few bits and pieces lying about that might help with what's to come.
Bits and pieces? I risked my neck to salvage those artifacts.
I know, sweetie, and I really appreciate your artifacts.
You didn't say that when I brought them in. You said, is that all?
You'd been gone for ages.
And you think you could do a quicker job?
Yes, if you'd let me, yes.
No. Not for all the jewellery in the world. What if I lost you?
Okay, I'm sorry. We have charms and regalia sourced at great risk from some of the most dangerous places in Rayclast. Better?
Yes, thank you.
Take care.
That would only slow me down. That would only slow me down.
I heard of the beast before coming here. Piety talked about it. I suppose she saw no point in keeping secrets from the people she was planning to murder.
I'm so sorry, Vanya.
God, it's not your fault, Pataris. But Piety used to say that the beast was the source of her power. How she managed to turn poor men and women into those things. She kept using a phrase. What was it?
Universal transmogrification. I heard her assistants talk about it too.
The power to change the world into anything you like.
Bloody scary power in the hands of someone like Piety.
Bloody scary powerful stop.
I'm not up to that just yet.
An exile returned. How is that even possible? Rising out of the darkness to claim the souls of our enemies, like Hinekora in the stories my mother used to tell me. Well, your divine intervention gave us just the diversion we needed to take this tower. So if you keep doing things like that, then I might have to start believing in the gods again. And thank you for finishing off that last overseer for us. I don't know what sort of mother could have birthed that land-loving whale, but we were lucky he wasn't here when we took this tower. He'd have spread us across the floor like butter on a piece of bread. Here, take something for helping us in this hopeless fight of ours. For freedom.
Ha! After everything I've done, it took an Oriathan to get these slaves up off their shackled asses and fighting. I guess the Templar should have treated their lessers better than their slaves, eh? Well, I'm not about to turn down a gift from Kitava. If he wants slave and outcast to join hands, then let's remind these Templar that they're flesh and blood, just like us. Utsulamakora is what they call me. I'm what passes for a chief around here. Well, I put the steel in their hands. I tell them where to stab, where to run, where to die. If that doesn't make me a chief, what does, eh? Blood isn't the only currency we need to earn to buy our freedom. We can kill all the Templar mongrels we like out there. It won't matter a damn if we don't get inside their stronghold, the Templar courts. Might as well put my bloody chains back on right now. Problem is, there's some sort of witchery surrounding the place. Only those who see the truth with faithful eyes are getting in there. The power of innocence. It's all in the eyes, you see. Yet blessed Kitava has answered my prayers and sent us just the pair of eyes we need. The ever-faithful Justicar Casticus. He's there in the control blocks right now, smiting my people with self-righteous fury. Find him and rip his faithful eyes out. Then I'm sure the good Justicar will be kind enough to see you into the Templar courts.
The Mother of Death watches over the city with great interest. You have joined us just in time. Before you lies a great many paths, each walked by a different life. But each must come to the same end. Eventually. The rings that bind grow tighter, the plate thicker, the leather denser, all with a single touch.
Unlike these assorted ignorami, I'm not surprised to see you here. The beast is dead, all thanks to you, I suppose. I was listening to the beast's death rattles when these lunatics broke in, wrecked the place, and dragged me here to tend to their cuts and bruises. Thankfully, I was able to bring some of my paraphernalia with me. The balance of power is shifting in your favor, O murderer of nightmares. If I am in possession of anything that might smooth the transition of governance, don't hesitate to ask. You'll find my terms quite reasonable. Some time ago, I fabricated a device able to sense and amplify the corrupt murmurings of Rayclast, a miasmeter. I listened to those whispers for years, lingering beyond sane comprehension. And then the scream. Such profound agony that my mind was nearly sundered by its percussion. I thought another cataclysm might be upon us. But no, it was you, slaying the beast. I was witness to a singularly potent cadence. This corruption, I am convinced that it holds the very key to our human history, and with it, our very existence. Yet without the miasmeter, I'm condemned to deafened ignorance. It remains in Piety's laboratory, as long as Utula's miscreants haven't vandalized the poor thing. Find it. Farewell. Some time ago, I fabricated a device able to sense and amplify the corrupt murmurings of Rayclast, a miasmeter. I listened to those whispers for years, lingering beyond sane comprehension. And then the scream. Such profound agony that my mind was nearly sundered by its percussion. I thought another cataclysm might be upon us. But no, it was you, slaying the beast. I was witness to a singularly potent cadence. This... Farewell.
A kingdom may encompass many, yet needs only one man to found it. Or woman, for that matter. It is all about place and will. I understand that you have already sown the seed of your kingdom. I simply question whether the soil you have chosen is fertile enough. Is it open to the sunlight, free to grow of its own accord, or is it shaded by another's ambitions? I know of a more fertile field, and, on my honor, I will not cast my shadow across it. The choice is yours, warrior.
Lorata is dead. It is not news to me. The forest screams its grief. You need not carry the blame. This was Lorata's will. I do not question why she allowed you to end her days. I keep her in my dreams, where she might still help us.
You've put an end to old Lorata? Twisted of heart and mind were the men who made that gem and that implement of black surgery. And what of the one who chooses to wield their creations? Of course, I wish to know the secrets locked in that tomb, but not at the cost of such a grand old life.
Take a deep breath. Inhale the twin stink of exploitation and oppression. Yes, these pens and cells have been our home away from home since the first Kārdui were brought here by Marseus Lani, their great hero of the Empire. One of the best slavers they ever had. Not that he was the only one. Captain Sigmund Fairgraves funded many an expedition off the whipped backs of Kārdui children. High Templar Dominus was only the latest in a long line of men to grow rich by trading in misery. Oriathan wealth was built on Kārdui poverty. Oriathan gold will forever be stained red by Kārdui blood.